Hey everybody, this is Evan with Scholar Marketing. So today's class, we're going to be going over the new agent website platform. For this class, we're going to start with the basics and go over how to customize some of the default information that's being loaded on your new KW websites. So to start, you're going to want to log into your command platform. So that's going to be agent.kw.com. If you do have any trouble logging in, always keep in mind that your username is not case sensitive. However, your password is. So if you do have any trouble signing in, you can always click on the little eyeball icon on the password box to be able to see your password that's been typed in. Just, make sure that there's no spaces before or after your password before you hit enter as well, because that will not allow you access. So before we dive into the command end of things, I do have a couple other tabs that I'm going to go over with you. So for the first tab that I have open here is going to be our website, scottleroymarketing.com. Again, scottleroymarketing.com. Now on our website, we do have a section under our agent resources here. We have a page for the new KW agent websites. So I'm gonna go ahead and click into this. Now from here, if it does ask you to log in, you're just going to enter your market center number and that will allow you access. All right, so from here, if you you can see that at the top, we do have our training calendar that's shown here that allows you to keep up with what classes that we do have going on, so you can stay up to date. So this is going to be not just for our website classes, but this is going to be show you for any of the classes that we do have coming up. If you want to add this calendar to your calendar, your email calendar, you can do so by just clicking on this little plus sign here, and this is going to add that Google Calendar for you, so you can stay up to date with what classes we have coming up. So scrolling down, we do have the section before you launch your new KW websites. We still have this showing on our website because KW, when they did announce that the new websites were going to be automatically updated for all agents, I believe it was they said August 15th. It did end up changing to where they were going to start the upgrade process for some agents on the 15th, and it was going to be, some agents were going to automatically be updated periodically, so not everybody was being updated at once. So if you are still showing that you have the old version of the website, this is something that you can look at for what you can do before you launch the new websites to save any of the custom pages or preserve any content. Now, if you are a brand new agent, your website would have automatically been set up as the updated website. So you don't need to worry about whether or not your website is up to date or not, because it should be. This is going to be, again, for mostly agents that have been with Keller Williams for a while, and I'm talking at least a year or more. If you have any questions about whether or not you are currently still using the new websites, or if you're still using the previous version of the websites or the new websites, you can do so by whenever you click on the little consumer icon, which I'll show you in just a little bit. You'll be able to see from the home screen. Now here are some, and when you scroll down, is a section that says once you have launched your KW website, some things that you can do, such as adding testimonials, updating hero images, manage feature listings, create open house sign-in pages, things like that. Now, there are some other great information that you can do as well, that you can just reach out to us and see what we were able to provide for you, such as adding additional pages and things like that, which we will be going over today. We do also have some provided articles from KWRI, which if you've never looked at the answers.kw.com websites, these are some pretty great informative articles that they provide. So definitely check those out as well. All right, so now that we've gone over the couple of other sites here, we're going to go ahead and close these out. And we're going to go back into our command account. So with the new sites, if you've been with KW for a while, you may remember that on the old KW sites, any content added to the website or any adjustments such as your headshot photo or your contact information or your bio, all of that had to be updated manually on the actual website itself. With the new KW sites that recently launched, this is now going to be updated automatically based on the information that is provided on your marketing profile. So because of this, you do want to be sure that your marketing profile is always current and up to date and good standing as the information is going to be that feeds over to your website. So as far as your contact information, your personal details, your bio, everything in your marketing profile, again, is going to feed over to your website. So not any information that's on your referral website, not any information that's showing on your My Profile. So to get to your marketing profile, we're going to go over to your name at the top right and click on the drop down. And then we're going to go ahead and click on settings. Now from settings, we're going to go ahead and over here on the left-hand side, we're going to click on the drop down that says connect settings. And then we're going to click marketing profile. Now from here, I do want to go ahead and make sure that if you are on a team or part of a team, when you click on the marketing profile, if yours looks a little different than this, it may be because you are on your team profile. So we're just going to go over the individual marketing profile today. So make sure whenever you click this drop down, again, if you are on a team, make sure that you are in your personal account and not the team account. You can do so by making sure you just click on the personal account that will be shown over here versus the team account. And then once you click on the personal, it should look just like this, except for with your information. All right, to get started over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see that you have this toggle. Basically, it's asking if it's if you're wanting to use your information to brand your agent's site. If you do not want your agent website branded to you, if you just want a plain kw.com website where it's not showing anything about you, you can go ahead and toggle this off. That will basically shut down anything on your website. It will not provide your information to the public. Now, as we go through these next sections, you will see that some of these sections do have a little red asterisk next to it. These are going to be required fields. So just make sure that you have something added to those fields, and we will go over those. So for your headshot, you will see that this is a recommended size of 360 by 360. Just meaning that they're wanting it to be a perfect square. If it is not a perfect square, then your image will kind of come out distorted. It'll either look like tall and skinny or short and stout, kind of like a funhouse mirror. So just make sure that your photo is a perfect square. It doesn't necessarily need to be 360 by 360, just it needs to be even on all sides. You'll see that right below the team logo, this is not a required field. However, we do highly suggest something being added here, simply for the fact like email campaigns, smart plans, things like that. There's a footer on those that has a spot for this photo image. And if you don't have something added here, it will show as a broken image. So we just suggest putting something here such as a team logo, a generic KW logo. If you have a personal business logo you want to add and use there, you most certainly can. And then again, this one is also recommended size 360 by 360, so a perfect square. If you need help with this and with these photos to be added, feel free to reach out to our support team, support@scottloraymarketing.com, and we can help get those adjusted and added for you. Scrolling down, we have some My Details section. So this is where you're going to make sure your name, your license number, any designation or credentials. This is where that information is going to be added. And again, anything that does not have this little red star next to it is completely optional, so you don't have to put anything there if you do not want to. Moving along, we do have the affiliation section. So if you are current or past military, and you do want that to be shown on your website, you can. If you were part of the military in another country, there are also options for that as well. So when you click on, say, active duty, you'll see that there's a bunch of other country military services here as well. If you are not, say you were not in the military yourself, but your spouses, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure what Gold Star family is. I had somebody ask me that last time. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but you can add it if you'd like. Or say you're just a big supporter of the military. There is also a supporter patriot option down below here also. Below that, we do have your bio section. This is a required field, so if you are a new agent and you don't have a professional bio yet, we suggest just putting a period in this box so that way you can save and come back to it later. Below that, we do have a contact section. So this is where you can put your contact information, your mobile phone and office phone. Again, these are required fields. So make sure that these numbers are current and up to date, as well as the email address. Fax number if you have one, if you still use those, and then also your website URL. Next, we have your brokerage information. So your brokerage logo, this is going to be more like your Market Center DBA logo. If you do not have one, or you cannot locate it offhand, there is this little link right here for KW Connect. This link will take you into your kwconnect.com account. She's just moving a little slow today. It'll take you into the logos and branding section. Now, when you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see this Market Center logos section right here. You can just type in this box down below. I don't know what's going on with my mouse today. Sorry. You can type in the search box your Market Center number or your Market Center name. And when you do that, you're going to see that it does pull up your Market Center number, the Market Center name, and then you have a download or preview option. When you download these, it will download as a zip file. So you need to make sure that you go into the zip file, go in and make sure you just save each individual DBA logo. So that way you have them out of the zip file. Now, if for whatever reason you type in your Market Center number or the name of your Market Center and nothing is showing up there, then right here it shows that if your Market Center does not appear, contact your Market Center leadership. Leaders can request the creation of a custom compliant logo for their office by emailing this email address. Again, this does need to be done by Market Center leadership. But this is where you can find your DBA logo. And if there's not one showing here, then most likely a member of your Market Center staff will have a logo of some sorts that you can use if you reach out to them. But once you have those files downloaded, you can just upload it here as well. Over here next to where the logo is, you'll have all of your Market Center information as well. And then moving along, we do have our compliance section. So if your Market Center is in a state, city, county, or if your realtor association requires certain things to be on your website, this is most likely where that is going to be housed. So if there's any text that needs to be on there, or if there's any links that you need to add to the footer, you can do so here. If we have done your setup, we typically will have that information and we'll already add it for you. But if anything ever needs to be updated, this is where it'll be updated. Now, the legal footer image, this is a really small file that shows up on your website. So we don't really recommend that you add much of anything here. If you were to add anything, we would say just kind of like maybe the fair housing logo, your realtor logo, or if you have a little image logo of like any designations or credentials, you can add the image here. But a headshot, you're not really going to be able to tell who it is. Anything that requires any reading, like a text, I wouldn't really suggest putting that there either. Yes, Leah, this is going to be recording. We don't send it out. I did include a link, a YouTube link. Let me go ahead and copy the link again and re-add it for you, to our YouTube channel. So this will be this is recorded and added to our YouTube channel, most likely by the end of the day, or you can just type in the name of the class in the search bar, and find one of our previous recorded classes of this, because we do this class at least once a month. All right, below the legal footer image, there is a section for your social media links. These are going to be the little links that appear under your headshot on your website. So they can just click on the little social media icon and it'll take them to that platform. Make sure that you are putting the entire link in here as well, not just part of it. And then below that, we have our Google Analytics ID. If you have Google Analytics set up and you want to start tracking your agent website, you can add your Google Analytics tracking ID here. And there is another place that it needs to be added as well in the back end of the website, which I will be going over once we get back there in just a little bit. If you want to learn more about Google Analytics ID, there is this little link, that clickable link here as well for you. Now, once you have all this information updated, be sure to click save, so that way you don't lose any of that progress that any of that information that you've added and updated. So I'm gonna go ahead and just click on the home icon for a second. So I have let quite a few people in since we started this class. Guys, if you have any questions while we were going over this, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. At the end of the class, I will allow everyone to unmute themselves and ask questions, so they don't have to type everything out if they don't want to. So just feel free to hold off if you'd like till the end of class. And then again, if you have any questions, maybe not even pertaining to what we've gone over today, I will answer those at the end of the class for you as well. All right, bear with me just a moment. All right, so now that we've covered our marketing profile, we are going to again go into the back end of our website. Now we can do so by for the social media, you'll just add the link that takes you to the page. So say like on your Facebook account, when you go to your Facebook business homepage, you can just copy the URL up here from the top. So make sure you do the entire with the HTTPS. Just copy the entire thing, copy it, and then you can paste it in there. So we're going to go ahead and go over into the back end of our websites. So you're going to do so by going back to your command dashboard. And you're going to go to the icon on the left-hand side on the very bottom. It should say websites when you hover over it. Sometimes it still says consumer. Hopefully they're working on that just to stay consistent, but you'll click on the websites. If you're still getting familiarized with these icons, you can click on this little red square, KW square at the top, and this will pop out all of them for you to see. So go ahead and click on the websites, or if it says consumer, you can click on it and it should still take you to the same place. Now, this page is going to be brand new. They just recently, the past couple weeks, started doing this. They now have like an expert mode kind of style. So from here, you can click on Edit Agent Site, and it's going to take you to this little kind of a preview window. Over here on the left-hand side, you have your pages, which will have your home page. You can also click the Add Content from here, so it allows you to add a blog post, or you can click on styling, which styling allows you to edit the themes and colors of your website straight from this point. KW did release some new themes recently, so they now have the KW Red Dark, they have the Carbon Light, the Slate Dark, Slate Light. So a couple different options for you to choose from. As you can see, when these colors change, so it's changing these colors as well as like the little accents, so like the search button and things like that. So whatever works best for you, whatever you prefer. So if you do make any edits at this point, make sure you go ahead and click publish when you're done if you want to save it. And then back on the pages, when you click on homepage, it does give you the option to adjust some of the homepage features, such as like the banner image, which is going to be the images that are seen here, what was previously known as the hero images on the previous websites. You can update the headline title. You can also update featured properties. So with this, you can only really do the headline title, the description. You can adjust the center point of where the featured listings are pulling in from, which we will kind of be going over this in more detail in the back end. And then you have some more selections here, so you can adjust the population radius and the listing prices. You're able to add testimonials. So if you have of clients that have been adding Google business reviews, and you want to add those to your KW agent websites, you can manually type them in or copy and paste them in here to add them to your website. I'm sorry, that was incorrect of me. I'm not sure why I said that. So disregard that last part, what I just said. This is going to be for the feature testimonial section to update the feature testimonials headline and the description here. To add the testimonials, you would do so on the back end. And then you also have the blog list headline and description here that you'll see. Again, any edits or adjustments you make from there, make sure you click on publish. Now, before we click into the expert mode, we're going to go ahead and take a step back to this page for a second, and then we're going to go ahead and click over on the settings. So if you are seeing this big blue banner, or you are seeing the My Websites pages like this, then that means that your website is currently up to date. You are currently rocking with the new KW agent websites. If you do not see these new things, then most likely it is that your website still has not been upgraded. Which, if it has not been upgraded, feel free to reach out to our support team, and we can assist you with getting everything updated. All right, so under the My Website settings, we have your subdomain. This is going to be the domain that people type into the URL bar here. So this is going to be caitlinbarnes.kw.com. As you can see, there is no www dot. I didn't mention it because the KW agent websites do not use that. A lot of new websites are no longer using the www dot. And if it is added, it will show as page not found. It'll look like you don't have a website. So make sure you are not including the www. If you are wanting to update your website URL, you can do so simply by clicking in this box, making the edit that you're wanting, and then clicking on the Save Changes button right over here. Below that, we have our app URL settings. This is going to be your app URL that you can share with clients. Simply click on the copy button and you can create a QR code with this. You can send this link out directly. However you're wanting to share it, you can. This is not editable. You cannot make any adjustments to this. So unfortunately, this is what you're going to send. Below that, there's some preference options as such displaying Keller home loans on your app and site, Keller covered, or display neighborhoods on my agent's site. You have the options to enable or disable those. And then at the bottom, we have forced registration. So forced registration is going to be controlling basically the number of properties that visitors to your website can view before the system requires them to create a login to your account. Basically, whenever a client creates a login, they set up an account with your website or app, their information will automatically be saved into your command database, and will come over as a lead. So you should basically know who's creating the accounts. So you can basically set it up to where they can't view any properties without registering 10 properties, or unrestricted, or basically unrestricted saying they can view as many properties without having to register an account. So that is completely up to your choice here as well. Just make sure you click any save changes if you've made any updates to that. All right, so from here, we're going to go back up to the top. Now, when we click on edit my website here, it is going to be the same thing as when we were over here in our edit agent site option. And when we click expert mode, they are both going to take us to the same place. They're both going to take us to our back end of our website right here. So now that we are in our the back end of our website, if you are on a team, you should have a team website or a personal website if you've set up the team website already. You'll be able to tell by two different ways. You'll see your name here if it's your personal website, or it'll have your team name. And then also right here with the URL that's showing, it'll show your team URL versus your personal. The way that you're able to switch between the two is simply by clicking on your name, and then you'll see that it'll have your team website URL or your team name that you can click on here as well to switch over to the team. Now, if you hold any roles with your market center, so if you're part of leadership in any form, like the tech trainer, productivity coach, things like that, you may also see your market center name here. And this is where you would go and you can access your market center website. I would make sure that you speak with other members of leadership before making any edits to the website, because it does update it across the board. So just be very careful with clicking on which one you're clicking on. All right, so up here in the top right, we do have the tour button. So as for today's class, we will kind of work our way down the edit your website portion. Now, as far as the overall platform, these may not be in order, but we will start from the top and we will just go down just to avoid any too much confusion. So these are going to be the default pages that are going to be added for all new agent websites. Again, they may not be in this particular order, but they should all be the same. There is currently not an option to rearrange these on the list. However, you can click into them and edit them in whatever order that you would prefer. So at the top of the list here, we do have the blog list page. So that is where your blog is going to be on your website. Then we have the about the agent. This is going to be our profile information from our marketing profile. And then we also have our homepage. This is going to be where like our hero images, our IDX search, our feature listings, as well as our feature testimonials, and a blog section as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started by jumping into the blog list page. So again, this is going to be where all of the blogs are going to be held. If you have any blogs added to your website, every newly launched agent website is automatically going to be provided with a 4-part buyer's guide blog. So you should be seeing that on your website already. And then any additional blogs will need to be added manually by each agent. So you do have the option to create your own custom blogs for your website. Or you can stick with these these 4 default generic blogs there. So for the blog list page, you have the option to have up to 10 blogs on your site at a time. You'll see that you can have between 1 and 10. So you can add additional blogs by going into here and clicking on this little plus icon. And then you're going to have an open line here. And if we click on this open line, you'll see this little text box here that opens up. We're going to want to select on the blog that we want to add. So if we've already created our blog, we should be able to find that here in this pop-up. And we can also search by going under the type. And if you have not created your blog post yet and you're looking to create a new blog post, you can simply click on the new button here in the bottom left. And that will take you to a form to build your custom blog. Now, if you want to rearrange the blogs on your site, you can do so by simply clicking on the little box and dragging it to where you're wanting to rearrange it to. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just put them right back in order. And then if you are wanting to remove any blogs from your site as well, you can do so by clicking on this little red line in between the eyeball and then this little icon here. So clicking on these little red lines. So any edits or adjustments that you make on your website, you'll see that this preview window here will show what it will look like with the adjustment that you currently made. So now you can see here that part 2 is going to be the first one, part 3, and then you have part 1. And when you adjust it, it'll automatic. Sometimes it does take a second for the system to make the little update on the preview window, so you might need to be patient with it a little bit as well. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier. I just thought about it, but if you do make any edits to your marketing profile for it to show on your website something corrected, it may take up to 30 minutes for the information to relay over to your website as well. So any information you update on your marketing profile may not update right away as well. So you might have to just give it a little bit of time. How do you add a blog attachment? What do you mean by it? I mean, adding a blog that was sent to you to use that you want to download and show on the website. So if it was sent to you, you can do the, when you click on the add line, the add button here, and it'll create a new line, and you click on the blank space here, and then you're going to click on new. Then this is going to open up the option for you to create a new blog. So you can add the headline. If you want a sub headline, you can have the body here, and you can do add module. If you're needing more, like a little bit more in detailed system, Deborah, we can kind of go over it at the end a little bit, go more detail, or you can just send an email to our support team and they can assist you with that. But if you want to go over it at the end of class, I don't mind. We can do that. Okay. Angel, yours doesn't quite look like that. Are you referring to like the color, the style? Your website just looks completely different altogether. The list. Are they in a different order? Featured items is not even on there. So under item stream, click, and it should be showing basic. Go ahead and click on that drop down and click on dynamic. Angel, if that's not what the issue is, we'll go ahead and circle back at the end for this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this red line that we just added. But so any updates that you may have made to the blog post, any changes, make sure you go ahead and click save in the top right over here to save any changes. Once you save the page, you should see a green box appear where you see this yellow one. That'll say that it has been saved. Let me just go ahead and save this. So you see that the information was saved, and then it gives you this option to return to dashboard. Got it. Awesome, Angel. Thank you. The next page is going to be the About the Agent page. Again, most of this information that is on here is going to be pulled from your marketing profile. So if you're seeing that your name is spelled incorrectly, it's an incorrect email address, you would need to update that on your marketing profile. If you need assistance with how to get back to your marketing profile to make any adjustments, let me know, and I'll show you. So from here, you'll see that you should have about 4 sections. The first one's going to be the agent profile. Basically, this only gives you an option whether you want to display or hide it. The second section is going to be the agent details. Again, it gives you the option to display or hide, and then it basically just gives you the option for the header for the agent details section, which is going to be right here. You see where it says my details, so it's going to be for this section here. And then the third one, you have your bio module, meaning for your bio about me. So you can choose to display or hide it. And then you can update the title. And then you also have your My Preferred Vendors module. So when you click on the My Preferred Vendors module, you can update the title of the My Preferred Vendors. The description, you can choose to display or hide the preferred vendors. And then you can also have the option to toggle on Show Market Center Preferred Partner Market Center Partners. Your Market Center may not have this set up. So if you toggle it on and you don't see anything, that may be why. But if you turn it on and you see something, then that's most likely your Market Center Partners. Now, for you to add your preferred vendors, there's a little link up here that says link. When you click on that, it's going to open up a new window. It may take a moment. All right, and then at the as soon as you click on the link, if you have added any vendors before, you will see that the vendors you have added are going to show on this first page. There's some other tabs: vendor usage, vendor impressions, my vendors. But basically, we're going to go ahead and click on the add vendor option in the top right. This is going to be where you can add the vendor information. So you have the vendor name and the vendor website URL. So if you have this, like say it's just a company, this is where you add the company name. If you have a specific contact with that company that you use, or say that you basically use you communicate with, this is where you can add their name and their email address. If you do not have a specific contact for that person, you can just leave the company name and the company's URL, and then you can put the company telephone number here versus the personal contact telephone number. And then you also have the vendor type. So if they're, cabinet installation, there was even an auctioneer, depending on what state, So there's many different options here for you to choose from. Then you also have the counties that they service, and you can also add their logo here as well. Once you add that information, just be sure to go ahead and click Add Vendor, which we're just going to go ahead and go back. Actually, and then, once you add them, you should be able to see them here. And then you will also see them on your My Preferred Partners section. Now, if you do not see them right away, and again, things may take a little bit of time for them to update onto your website. So just be patient, give it about 30-ish minutes, and just double check. Once the information has been updated, you're just going to want to make sure you go ahead and click Save. And make sure that you get this green saved bar. If you do not get this green save bar, then most likely there's a line that was added that wasn't removed or something. It'll show you like this will be section will turn red or a specific line will turn red, what issue needs to be handled before it allows you to save. Now, once you do save it, just go ahead and click return to dashboard. And then next we're going to have our homepage right here. I think the little trackball thing on my mouse is going on. That's why it keeps jumping. Sorry. All right. So from here we have, let me just go ahead and collapse these for you. So from here, we're going to have, again, these 4 different sections for our website homepage. And the first one is going to be the listing search module, which is going to be this section right here. When you click on the dropdown, you can update the title. So basically you can update what it says right here. This is, again, preferred verbiage, whatever you like it to say. You do have the option to hide this for rent versus just the buy. You can hide the for rent section. And then you can also update the images that are scrolling through the background. Now, when you click this dropdown, it does give you the option to select custom video. We have not been able to get this to work as of last week. I have not attempted to do it yet, so just bear with us on that. As soon as we do get it to working, we will be, creating videos on how to do that and updating our classes as well. However, when you are able to do this, any video that you create does need to be hosted on like Vimeo or YouTube. So you'd have to add the link from one of those sites to here in order to get it to play in the back. But under the custom images, you are able to add the images here, and you'll see them add to the background. If you want to update the images, such as like the focal point, so you see how this one is only showing or say this one, it shows a certain part of the table to a certain part of the stairs, and here the image looks so much bigger. You can set where the focal point is because this is only a certain size. So just make sure you're playing around with that focal point and how it looks. If you want to add more images, you have the add image option, or you can upload the files here. Now below that, we have our featured listings section. The featured listings, so first it's going to give you the option to display or hide the module. Where shall I go to access my website from? Well, that depends. Rashmi, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Are you just wanting to go look at your website, or are you talking about where to go to make edits? Okay, so from the featured listings, we have the title, which you can update the title. Okay, so your websites are going to be located from when you're in command. You have your website section, the little icon over here at the bottom left. And this will take you into like the back end. This is your website URL. But to go into like the back end to like what we're doing, you can just go to your settings, click edit my website. If you'd like, we can go into more detail afterwards. So we're not backtracking again. But we can go over it and help you out at the end with that. Again, so featured titles, you can update the feature what it says featured listings here, as well as the description. Oh, that's for not sure why that's making a little. For some reason it's not showing the featured listings. They may be doing some kind of updates with command right now, but featured listings is not displaying, which it should be showing right here. Let me see if I can get it to load this way. So something might be going on with the websites at the moment because again, featured listings is not showing up. But with the featured listings, you can set a location center point. And then it'll show any properties within a certain mile radius from this center point. This does not have to be a specific address. You can just do a city and state, something like that if you'd like. And then you can also set the search radius from right here. If you are in a state where you're close to another state line and say you're not licensed in that state, so you don't want properties on your website to show in that state, you can also set this to show properties in this state province only. Max number of properties to display, and again, the search radius. You can sort the listings shown. And then you can also pin listings. So if you're having listings automatically pull in from this information, but say you have like 2 listings yourself, you can manually add your listings. These listings will show first on the featured listings list, and then the other random listings that are being pulled in will show after that. And then again, you have the featured listings by, you can set those to my listings, and then my affiliated brokerage. So if you only want those to be shown, you can select those also. And then below that, we do have a bunch of other options. You can filter the listings being shown as well. So you can set a bunch of different options here. And then below that, we have our feature testimonials. So the feature testimonials are going to be shown here. So if you want to hide them, again, you have that drop down option to change that. You change the title and description. And then you can also sort by the newest published date, the max number of testimonials that you do want to be displayed. Again, you see 1 through 20. It does not, it will not show a whole bunch more than that. So just be careful how many you're trying to add. And then you also can click on the add button. So if a client has gone onto your website and left a review, you can click on the plus. And then you'll be able to see all the names here that of the people that have left reviews on your website. This does have to be manually updated, so you have to go in and add these. It is not going to automatically pull them in. If you are wanting to add a listing, say somebody left I keep saying listing, a review. Somebody say somebody left a review on your Google business page, but it's not on your KW agent website and you would like it to be. You can go to your website and do the leave a review and just type it in yourself that way. And then it'll be on your website that way. So you can edit these by just clicking on the drop down, selecting which ones you would like, or you can just click on the red line to remove the ones you don't want. So if you're wanting to remove some old ones, add some new ones, you can do it that way too. And then let me go ahead and collapse this. And then you have the last one, my blog. So again, this is going to just be over your blog section here. You can choose to display or hide it. You have your title and description. You have your blog posts, the sort by, how many do you want to be displayed, and then which ones you're wanting. So if you've added any new blog posts and you want them to be displayed on here, you can do so the same way you would add a listing or a testimonial, clicking on that and then selecting it. Again, once you have everything updated, make sure you are clicking the save option at the top right. See if I messed anything up. Nope. Okay, so then everything's now saved and we can click go back to dashboard. Now, I do want to let you know that there are some quick start options here that comes to your website as well. So if you're wanting to add any additional pages, you can do so. We do have another class that goes over those. or you can always reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to assist you with those. But these are some quick start options for that. Below, we do have your default pages that we just went over and any default modules that have been created, custom pages, custom modules. And then if you create any landing pages, your landing pages will be shown here at the bottom below the custom modules. Now in the top left, you have these 3 lines. When you click on those lines, you're going to see this little drop down. How do I get to settings to select how many homes the customer is able to view until they are forced to make an account? That is going to be from your command site here. So when you click on the website, or it might say consumer, but when you click on this here, you should see this page. Click settings, and then you're going to scroll down to the bottom, and that'll be forced registration. All right, so with organizations, when you click on that, when you click on the 3 hamburger lines, click on the admin, and then you should see organization site. Now from here, there are some things that, okay, before you click, yeah, got it. So there are a couple things here I wouldn't really mess around with too much. If you want to edit the theme of your website where I showed you earlier, you can update the colors. You can also do so by clicking it here. It doesn't really show you once you click on them, the updates. So you may need to just go back and do it that way, the way I showed you before. But market center name, agent or rainmaker, the KWUID, I would not mess with any of those. When I mentioned when we were on the marketing profile, the Google Analytics ID, this is the other place that you need to add that in order for your website to be connected to the Google Analytics. So make sure you're adding that here as well as the marketing profile. And then this is where you can update and change the navigation source. I highly suggest looking into our training videos on this, or going to answers.kw.com and looking up their instructions on how to do this, because this is very temperamental. You have to be very specific and precise with this, or you can mess up your entire website. So and we do assist with these, however, to a degree. So just be sure what you were doing is very precise. You know what you're doing before you go playing around with it. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.